Hello, good morning. It is me. I am back from visiting my boyfriend's family with my boyfriend. Neo is also here. My boyfriend's mum went to America for a little bit. And because we are Dutch, we don't have a lot of the big yarn brands, right? Because a lot of the big yarn brands are American, and it's either like $60 in shipping to get it here, or you have to buy from a resale person and pay like triple the price, all that kind of stuff. So realistically, there was no way that I was getting this yarn. But because she was going to America, I was like, hey, if you have like time and it's not too much out of your way, could you maybe check a craft store if they have this yarn? And she did, and they had it. They didn't have a lot of it anymore, so I'm very happy and very thankful that she went out of her way to look. But now I have some RedHeart GrannyAllInOneSquare yarn. The yarn where you can make a granny square with, what was it, 5 colors? 5 colors without changing your yarn and weaving an end and stuff. I've been seeing very mixed reviews about this, and I wanted to try it. She got 2 of them for $20, which is the normal price, like $10 a piece, $12 a piece. Regular prices I've been seeing. She was at Joann's and she got it on sale. Minor sale. From what I know, Joann's has sales often. I wouldn't know. We don't have Joann's over here, and I have never been to America. Anyway, we got that and we got home last night at like 11:30 p.m. So obviously I wasn't filming because I looked like a mess from being in trains for 2 hours and stuff like that. But I did instantly try it out. And it works. The label says to use a 5.5mm hook. I tried that, that did not work for me. I'm using a 6mm hook, and I am not following the instructions on the label because that is such a painful way to make a granny square. I do use multiple ways of making a granny square, so it doesn't bother me to try a couple. I tried without chains between, with 1 chain in the corner. I tried 2 chains in the corner. And the one that ends up working for me is a 6mm hook, magic circle to begin, stacked single crochet at the beginning of each round, 1 chain between each cluster, and 3 chains at the corner. That is the most consistent way so far. I do end up with like the little bit of the beginning color at the end, like this, the last chain, but that doesn't bother me. And from various reviews, I've heard that it kind of differs per skein, how much left over of the beginning yarn you have and how much left over of the ending yarn. So maybe this one will have some extra white and I won't have that problem. I don't know. I'm gonna be making all of these and then see what I make with them. I kind of regret that I didn't film the trial and error process, but it was literally past midnight and I did not have the patience to leave it until the morning because I was very excited that she found this for me. So far, my main opinion is that this yarn, like RedHeart, which we cannot get here, is fine. It feels fine. It doesn't feel cheap or terrible like some people have been telling me. I'm not gonna say it's the softest yarn I've ever touched because it definitely isn't, but it's also not the roughest. I'd say the roughness is about the same as the yarn from the Action, and then Action yarn is considerably thinner because I'm using this on a 6mm hook and that is working, and with the Action yarn I use a 3 or a 3.5mm hook. It's going to be kind of hard for me to find yarn of the similar like thickness to like put these together into something. I'm considering shorts because I only have 1 skein of each and they're supposed to have 14 squares, so I could make like a sweater that only has like the body of it in the squares, and then sleeves in a plain color. Or stripes if I manage to find close enough matchups. Or shorts or both, I don't know. I'm very happy with the color she found me because this is like my entire aesthetic is like black purple. I don't mind pink, I like blues. Like fits perfectly. And this is fun because this is a color that I would have never picked myself. but I like it, right? Like, I like most colors, but I'm a basic bitch and I will gravitate towards blacks, purples, blues, whatever I pick my own color schemes. And greens. Greens are good too. But usually if someone gets me a random color that I would not have like considered myself, it forces me to think a little bit more about how I would use it, and that is fun. So I'm gonna try one with this color now to see if that's any different, and I'm just gonna make up all of the squares and see what I make with them. I will be back. Okay, hi, I'm back. I've made a square. This time the last stitch is the correct color. It's also cutting it really close. I have to restart the centerpiece sometimes because I'm not very good at guesstimating how long the tail should be. And in the last row I have to like go back a couple stitches, change my tension to make sure it fits. But in between I don't have to do that at all. Like the red, yellow and green all lined up perfectly. The switch into white was also perfect. So it's like redoing like 15 stitches or whatever, or redoing a magic circle is way less bothersome to me than working in 10 ends for each square instead of 2. So that's not that bad for me. I don't mind that. It's not optimal, but you know, yarn like this is impossible to have completely optimized because it's very tension dependent. I did have a massive yarn barf because these skeins are big, right? Like these are chunky 250 gram skeins, and most Dutch yarn is 100 gram skeins or even 50 grams. That also means it makes sense that these are 10, 11, 12, $13 instead of like 5, because they're like the size of 2.5 skeins here, so like the equivalent of $13 would be 12 euros. A 100 gram skein tends to be around 4 to 5 euros, so if it were 250, that lines up. Doesn't matter, doesn't bother me at all. My final like take on this is it worth it if it's available near you? Probably, try it out. If it works out for you, great. If it doesn't, it's just a variegated yarn. You can use this in like regular crochet. I then wouldn't make squares with it because you'll have like squares with one-offs if you can't get it to work for you. But if you just like crochet regularly, you'll have like irregular striping, which I think looks great. And I would do that with this if I didn't specifically want to make the squares. Like if I couldn't get it to work, that's what I would have done. So yes, if it's available near you, definitely try it out. It's worth it to try 1 or 2 maybe. But yeah, it's fun. It's fine. It works for me personally. I've seen some other people that could not get it to work, so it really is dependent on who you are. The colorways are cool. I've looked at the other colorways. I think the ones with black, the black borders are my favorites, but that's because I don't like wearing white clothes because they get dirty easily. Look great. I will make up the rest of the squares throughout the week. Probably, it's only like 28 squares. Throughout the week I will update you when I have the full stacks and I have them blocked, so we can test if like the weird little tension change on the last border blocks out well. I think it will. I don't think it's a massive problem. And then I'll see what I make with it and show you that, and then that is it. I will be back eventually. No clue how long that's going to take me. Bye bye. Hi. Hello. I have 15 squares and 9 of these. Got a bit left. But we're gonna make something with these today. I'm gonna make something. I have a finished product so I can finish my review because it's been a while. I had other things to do. Update. I can actually buy more of this yarn through Hirschner's. I would pay import fees on it and potential extra taxes, so it's probably more expensive than I would like it to be, but I can in fact get it in the Netherlands. I don't know how I found out about that anymore, I forgot. But it's possible. I can get it. Without having to send my boyfriend's mom to America or pay way too much from resellers on various platforms. I have this from Amazon. And I'm gonna be making something. You will see. I think I'm going to make a bag. I wanted to make shorts, but I don't have enough for shorts, and I don't want random black squares in there, so one skein project. Bag. Alrighty, that took a minute, but bag. This took 13 squares, so I have 2 left of that color, and then I have all of those green, yellowy, that color palette left. This is nice yarn. I like it. It's a little bit expensive for what it is. But a lot of yarn has that, so I'm gonna say I like it. I will be buying more of it, and yeah, cool, happy with this. No clue what I'm gonna do with this bag yet, but it exists, and it's pretty big. Cool. That was that. I will be doing something with the rest of those squares eventually, at some point, a different time. Thank you for joining. Have a nice day.